Hello students, how are you? I hope you all are good and safe. Today in this video, we are going to learn poem When I Do Count the Clock That Tells the Time. It is written by William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare was an English playwright, poet and actor, widely regarded as the greatest writer in the English language and the world's greatest dramatist. He is often called England's national poet and the Bard of Avon. He was born in the month of April 1564 in the United States and died on 23 April 1616 in United Kingdom. His famous poems are Shakespeare's sonnet, Shall I Compare Thee to a Summer Day, Sonnet 116, Sonnet 130, Sonnet 12. Today's poem, When I Do Count the Clock That Tells the Time, is Sonnet 12, written by William Shakespeare. Sonnet 12 is one of 154 sonnets written by the English playwright and poet William Shakespeare. It is a procreation sonnet within the fair youth sequence. In a sonnet, the poet goes through a series of images of mortality, such as a clock, a withering flower, a barren tree, autumn, etc. Then, at the beginning of the third quatrain, the poet admits that he, the young man to whom the poem is addressed, must go among the waste of time, just as all the other images mentioned. The only way he can fight against time, Shakespeare proposes, is by breeding and making a copy of himself. Poem When I Do Count the Clock That Tells the Time. When I do count the clock that tells the time, and see the brave day sunk in hideous night, when I behold the violet past prime, and sable curls all silvered over with white, when lofty trees I see barren of leaves, which erst from heat did canopy the herd, and summer's green all girded up in sheaves, borne on the bier with white and bristly beard. Then of thy beauty do I question make, that though among the wastes of time must go, since sweets and beauties do themselves forsake, and die as fast as they see others grow, and nothing gainst time's scythe can make defense, save breed to brave him when he takes thee hence. Now the explanation time. When I do count the clock that tells the time, and see the brave day sunk in hideous night, when I behold the violet past prime, and sable curls all silvered over with white. In these first 4 lines of Sonnet 12, introduce the poem's theme, that is the passing of time. Shakespeare counts the clock that tells the time, and when the time passes, he observes that the sun, the brave day, sinking below the horizon, giving way to the hideous night. Hideous means ugly night. That is not bright at all. He sees violets withering. Violets withering means the flowers, those who were looking very beautiful during the day, they are now withering, they are tilting now. And past their prime, the black hair of men or women in their prime turn, means that the men and women, those who look so young and their hair are black, they are so shiny, they turn to white as a result of the aging process. Next 4 line. When lofty trees I see barren of leaves, which erst from heat did canopy the herd, and summer's green all girded up in sheaves, borne on the bier with white and bristly beard. Lines 5 to 8 continue this succession of images. Shakespeare has created the image that everything in this world, whether the time, it keeps on moving. If it is day, it will turn into night. Anything that has taken birth, that will grow continuously. So similarly to that image, these lines 5 to 8 continue that succession of images. Tall and mighty trees without leaves in the autumn, which, when they had leaves, could provide shelter from the sun or rain for the animals in the wood. It means there is a time when the leaves on the trees they are green, but when the time comes, their leaves shed from their tree, from their branches. And the once green grasses of summer, which have been gathered up into hay bundles and have turned white when they have been harvested and stocked up. That is, a bier is a sort of mobile table used at funerals for conveying dead bodies, and so the grasses are implicitly associated with human life. See that the human, those who look so young, those who look so fresh when they are young, when the time passes and they grew old, their skin, it becomes so ugly, it becomes so white and pale. These two images cleverly continue the image offered in the first quatrain, but also add something. The images being offered to us are now hinting at the association with bearing and raising children, even though the bard is talking about trees and grass. Then of thy beauty do I question make, that though among the wastes of time must go, since sweets and beauties do themselves forsake, and die as fast as they see others grow. In lines 9 to 12, Shakespeare made this association explicit. All of these images of things once in their prime, now growing old, prompt him to consider and analyze the youth's own mortality. He too will lose his beauty and grow old. Note how Shakespeare uses the phrase, the wastes of time, with waste not only suggesting a desolate, that is infertile, land, but also hinting at the waste of a life if it is not used to create new life through bearing offspring. Waste of time here is showing that once the man grew old, he becomes infertile. So we should not waste the time. It should be used to produce their offsprings. And if offsprings are not produced, obviously the life of that man is waste. Sweet and beautiful things, Shakespeare says, forsake themselves, give themselves up to the ravages of time, and die as quickly as new things grow to replace them. It means this is the cycle of life. New things will come and the old one will perish, right? So before the old one will perish, new one should come to its life. And nothing gainst time's scythe can make defense, save breed to brave him when he takes the hence. Now in these last two lines, in the concluding couplet, Shakespeare says that nothing can offer protection against time and death. Both time and death, of course, often being personified with scythe, with death as the grim reaper. Here, time and death are personified. Except having children, since this can help you to brave or face time or death when he comes to take you. It means we all know if we have taken birth, we will die one day. But when the death will come to us, when we are going to face it, before that, if we want to defeat the death, then we should bring our offsprings, we should breed so that new generation will come and face. At least you can rest assured, as you wither and die, that you have done as nature expected, and that you will live on through your offsprings. Now let's see the rhyme scheme of this poem. The rhyme scheme of Sonnet 12 is A B, A B, C D, C D, E F, E F, G, G. Time, prime, night, white, AB, AB. Leaves, sheaves, herd, beard, CD, CD. Make, forsake, go, grow, EF, EF. Defense, hence, GG. Now see few important poetic devices used in this poem. First one is alliteration. Alliteration is that poetic device in which first consonant alphabet repeats in different words. For example, count the clock. C is repeating. Tells the time. T is repeating. Sable curls all silvered over with white. S and W is repeating. So these are few examples of alliteration. Next poetic device is personification. Here, nothing against time's kite can make difference. Here, time and death is compared with the reaper. So it is personified. And another important figure of speech that is used here is anaphora. What is anaphora? When sentences in a poem starts with same word, then poetic device is anaphora. And in this poem, see last lines and they are starting with same word. So here figure of speech is anaphora. I hope you all have understood this beautiful sonnet 12. Thank you.